Now
All
give
right.
it some. See?
Okay, like that's kind of fun.
Yeah. So we're back again with the Toyota Supra. This is the 2025 Toyota Supra.
What is
and I've
that?
had this.
Sorry, what's that song where he says, "Now we're back again"?
That's Eminem. That's Slim
That
Shady.
made me think of
like,
that when you said
Shady's
that.
back.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Back
I'm
again.
definitely not Eminem.
Yeah. Can you
despite
play a little clip of that?
being
Like right here?
probably now we're going to get demonetized. That's not a good idea.
Like a tiny clip, like just a little.
Yeah, maybe like a brief.
Yeah,
You're also
yeah.
making the editing harder as you're like throwing these things.
That's what I live for. That's
So
what I
it's a
live for.
2025 Toyota Supra in, I believe the color is called Atmosphere, which apparently everybody but you liked.
Yeah,
Everybody thought it was cool. Personally, I'm also not a blue like kind of car guy, but I do think it's a pretty color. But most of the people that I saw really liked it. Now I've had the Supra a number of times before, and I'll put all those in the description, so you go check that out from when the Supra first came out until now. And
When
it
was
hasn't
that?
changed a whole lot. It came out in like 2020, so it's been, you know, a hot minute since the Supra came out, and it's about to disappear again. So if you're interested in a Toyota Supra,
You
and
didn't
you're
tell me
thinking
that.
about, yeah, it's kind of in its swan song now.
Oh,
And we're not
that's
sure if
kinda
it's
sad.
going to be replaced because the Supra is a legend, but they don't sell a lot of them. So it's sort of like if you're thinking about getting one before it goes away, and you're sort of in our sort of stage of life where you're like in your mid 40s, you don't need it for the kids anymore.
No car
Maybe you want to
seats.
treat yourself. You want to see if the wife will be happy with your
Treat yourself.
decision. Treat yourself, like Parks and Rec.
Yeah,
Shout
yeah.
out because we
You
love
can do
that
a whole
show.
lot of little things in
I
there,
know.
honey.
Well, yeah,
This could be a fun
I
video.
don't need to edit anymore.
Okay, sorry, I'll stop.
Yeah. So if you are thinking that you could convince the wife that this needs to be one of your two cars to drive, this video is for you because Megan is going to spend
Did I
most of the
convince
time.
you?
Well,
We'll see.
you're going
I
to
don't know.
try to spend most of the time kind of like seeing if she can live with the Supra. All right. But I really like the Supra a lot. So I'm going to give you a couple of things that I really like, maybe one or two that I don't. And if you want to see my driving impressions, go check out one of the previous videos. And then if you want to see Megan's driving impressions, stay tuned.
So on the outside, I mean, it looks like a sports car. Is it special?
Well, what do you think of the looks overall?
I mean, it's blue. I don't love the blue.
Okay.
I
A lot of
prefer,
people like
like-
the blue. A lot of people
Blue's
in the
just
shop.
not my
Okay.
favorite thing.
I think it's called
Um,
Atmosphere.
I do like the brakes. I always think it's fun when you can see the red brakes.
Oh, the calipers?
I don't know what they're called.
Yeah.
Is that what they're called? And the brakes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
Those are the things that
Um,
clamp down.
The things that what?
Clamp down on the brakes.
Yeah, the brakes. Oh, they clamp on the brakes.
Yeah.
They're not the brakes.
Well, it's part of the brakes.
I mean, I don't know. It kind of looks like a Miata to me.
A Miata?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that what a Miata looks like?
Well, not really. Sort of.
Like with the long front and the thing in the back? And
yeah, classic sports car
yeah,
shape.
it just looks like a classic sports car. It's kind of what I'm...
Okay.
There, but nothing like fancy about it.
So hopefully you know by now that the Toyota Supra is powered by BMW's legendary B58 engine. Well, hopefully you also know that this is actually a BMW wearing Toyota makeup, but that's not a bad thing because that merger gave us the Toyota Supra, so we're thankful for it. The B58 engine is one of BMW's like modern masterpieces. This engine is phenomenal, all right? It's smooth, it's powerful, 382 horsepower, like 300, and I think it's like 63 pound-feet of torque. Probably underrated because it feels like more. The Supra hits 60 miles per hour in less than 4 seconds with this engine. The 4-cylinder, I believe, for 2025 has been dropped, but you still get the no-cost manual option, which is nice. And I'll talk a little bit about that because I'm not going to do my driving impressions, but I want to give you sort of my opinion on the automatic versus manual debate, which might be a surprising take, especially if you're trying to sell this to your significant
Oh, did you
other.
have this in a manual?
No, I haven't
Oh.
actually driven the manual Supra, but I do love driving manuals. However, I might be making an exception in this case, and I'll explain why.
Oh.
But this engine is fantastic. It's relatively fuel efficient for what it is. I was averaging kind of low 20s MPGs in pretty bad commuting. So I have no complaints about this engine, nor should you. It is a phenomenal power plant for a pretty great sports car. Super windy today,
It
so
is a little
apologies.
windy. I don't love the front.
We're under a wind advisory.
I don't love the front. I don't like this part. It looks like a nose.
You don't like that part?
No, it looks like a nose.
Okay.
I don't like it. But I mean, the rest of it's fine. The lights are kind of cool. The shape, I mean, I like the shape of it. It looks
Okay.
like a sports car. I'm not a sports car fan, but so I don't have a whole lot to say about it.
Did you just come out of your shoe?
I did. My fake Birk. Don't show people my fake Birkenstocks. then they'll know they're fake.
So when it comes to styling on the Supra, I've talked about this before, and in my earlier videos, I sort of like lamented the fact that the Supra concept, when it was shown to us way back in like whatever it was, 2018, 2019, and it wasn't called the Supra concept, it was called like the FT1 or something like that. It looked amazing, and then the Supra came out and it didn't look quite as amazing, and a lot of people were like, oh, what's up with that, Toyota? Like, that concept looks so good. But I think weirdly the Supra has aged really well. Okay, I was critical of it early on, but when I had the first one to test and then after that, I was like, you know what, this is not a bad looking car. Like, it does have the long hood, short rear deck proportions, the sort of wilder styling elements.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah. It has like that kind of long hood and stubby rear end, which is a classic sports car. And the wilder styling elements really, like, they really seem to work over time. I like it more now than I ever did back then, and I think that's saying something. I always tell this story to people when they ask me about the Supra. When I had one first to test, I was waiting for, I think it was when Ella was playing volleyball, I was waiting to pick her up outside of volleyball. It was a bright red Supra, and a dude in a brand new 911 at the time, it was probably the 991.1 generation 911, pulled up next to me and was like, nice Supra. And I'm like, if this guy in a Porsche 911 is pulling up next to me complimenting the Supra, then the styling must be working on some level. All right, so I kind of like make excuses for it over time. I think it's aged well, and in the sports car world, you don't have many options. It's like this or the Nissan Z. Spoiler alert, you can go check out my reviews of the Nissan Z. I always pick the Supra.
The back, it kind of reminds me of the front, like how it's got this like a pointy thing in the middle, and I love it.
Oh, okay.
So I like the side of this better than I like the front of the back.
So
like,
you
look
like
at the back. The back is weird.
The back is
the
weird?
back is weird. Like this, it swoops in the middle. Like, why is it dipped down like that?
Oh, it's a double bubble roof.
Double bubble.
Yeah.
That's like bubble gum I used to eat as a kid. So I don't like the double bubble. And then these are like double bubbles. And then this is like a bubble. I don't love it. Ooh, what's that in the back?
It's supposed to look like an F1 car.
Oh,
that's
where
where
cool.
the reverse light comes on.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it does look cool when you're backing up, actually.
Yeah, when you look at the front and the back separate, I don't love them. The overall shape of it's fine, though.
Oh, okay.
So, like, do I give my rating now or later?
What
later.
Have you made a video
later.
on this channel
It's been
before?
a while, okay? I've tried to forget.
Yeah.
All right.
Now you have to do trunk space.
I don't think there is any. Can you open it from back here?
I actually don't know.
I have the key.
Okay, we'll just use the key.
Does the key have a trunk opener?
Yeah. I can never remember if you can or
Well,
not.
it just made the sound, but it didn't. Oh,
Oh, it opens.
it's not automatic.
Yeah.
You want me to climb in there?
I don't know if that would.
So it fits your backpack. I mean, it's actually kind of bigger than I would have thought.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But back seat space is
Zero. Doesn't
zero.
exist.
0 out of 0. Yeah.
Non-existent.
So like, I mean, that's not bad. You could fit a few. I mean, this is clearly not the car we're taking on a family trip or something. So,
No.
you know,
Nor is it
about
meant
what you
to
will.
be.
What is this thing?
That's the emergency. Like, you get kidnapped and pull that.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
If I get kidnapped and someone's throwing me in the back of their Supra,
Well, that's why that
yeah,
mandate
that's probably
is
not
stupid.
Yeah, that's probably not the car they're going to use.
Yeah.
These are kind of fun. Are
Yeah,
these
I
just
like
handles?
that it has handles.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
I mean,
the
that's actually
Germans,
kind of impressive. Does your Corvette doesn't have this much space, does it?
It has way more than that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess it's
That's
been a
what
hot
Corvettes are famous for.
minute. Really?
Yeah, how practical they are.
Oh, who knew? All right, so not bad. Not bad for a sports car. Apparently not as good as a Corvette.
Well, I'm biased.
But we also had a Corvette for so many years, and I've never noticed that, so that tells you how much
You pay attention
you pay attention
to me in my life.
I'm definitely not the key demographic for this car, so take, I guess, everything I say with a grain of salt. I guess you would like a car like this.
Yeah. So it's like, if this was in the household,
I would never drive it,
just ever?
ever.
Okay. Well, let's pretend.
I mean, the seat, I'll try to, well, you always get mad at me if I talk about the wrong thing, so, we haven't done one of these in a hot minute, so I really can't. So drive-wise, it drives like a sports car. Like, you feel everything, which I think you always tell me you're supposed to, but that's not like my favorite thing. I want like a smooth, cushy ride, and that is definitely not what I'm getting here. Like, even weird things like if you drive down the street, like gravel, you can like feel gravel hitting the car. Like, I don't know, you can just like feel all the things. Driving wise, like you definitely feel the road. You feel like I don't know, like I literally drove to like Chipotle the other day, like 2 minutes from our house, and was like, because I don't know, I just felt like I was like feeling everything, and it was like I was in a sports car. You definitely feel like you're in a sports car. Like we've had some cars that
intense.
I called them a sports car, and you were like, it's not a sports car. But this, yeah, it's intense. That's a good word for it.
This is a sports car.
This is a sports car. So it's not really my cup of tea. Now I did, and you feel like yesterday I was like, all right, I'm gonna try to like go a little fast, you know, like see what it feels like. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going so fast. And then I looked, I was going like 54. So like not fast, but like it feels like it was fast. Like,
well, this is a fast car.
yeah, but I literally was going, but you feel it a lot. So I can't imagine like if you were actually going fast, what that would feel like. But that's not like a thing I'm comfortable doing. So I'm not a fast driver. So I don't, you know, it's hard for me to say. I mean, you'll be a better person to talk about that, but you do feel it. So I think if someone like me was driving it, that probably would not be their very favorite thing. It is pretty comfy. Like I'm kind of comfortable sitting here. Once you get down from the, you know, when you get in, you know, the thing is funny is when you get in the car, I feel like I'm like sitting on the ground because you have to like get in so low. I like kind of like fall into it. But then like when I'm driving, I don't feel like I'm on the ground. Like I feel like I have a kind of high viewpoint.
What?
Is that weird?
Yeah, it is a little
like
weird.
there's a Honda Civic in front of us. I feel like I'm the same height as that Honda Civic.
Well, the seats could probably be a little bit lower, but this is not
but I don't like them to be
car.
lower. But like getting in, I feel low. But driving, so I actually prefer that.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. That was like a positive.
All right.
Because I don't like in your Corvette, I feel like I'm laying on the ground the whole time we're in that thing, and I do not like that. So this, I actually feel like I'm kind of up. Now, you know what I do think is weird is that I'm kind of like sitting up tall. Like I have the seat kind of pretty straight because I like to be up, and I cannot see the heads-up display.
Well, it has to be adjusted.
Yeah.
It's probably for a taller person.
You can move the heads-up display. Did I turn here?
Yeah.
I can't forget. Okay, so you can adjust that. But if I'm like this, I can see it. There's kind of a lot of blind spots, I feel.
There are. It's probably
Yeah,
the Supra's main drawback.
Yeah, I didn't love that. I feel like the rear window, like the
rear view
is pretty small.
Yeah.
And then I just felt like on all sides, I'm like, before I turn out, I'm like, I feel like I'm checking a bunch because I just feel like I can't drive a lot. It does feel a little jerky to me too. And I guess that could be the sportiness of it. But like the brakes and the gas, I felt like are a little jerky.
Well, some of it.
But I haven't driven it a ton, so maybe it's just I'm not used to it.
Some of it's the auto start stop.
No, you
turns
say that,
off
but I
the
mean like when I'm driving.
Oh, when you're driving?
Yeah, I don't mean the auto start stop.
Well, it's meant to be more responsive.
I know the difference.
Because the auto start stop is pretty terrible.
Yeah, but that doesn't bother me because I'm expecting that. But like when I'm driving, I just feel like it wasn't very smooth drive.
Oh, I would have thought you would have hated the auto start.
I don't ever hate auto start stop.
Start.
Stop start. Start stop. It doesn't bother me.
Okay.
So I guess that's it. And it does get pretty speedy. Let's see. Whoa,
Oh,
but see,
that's
like right there, whoa. Like I was going like 62 and it felt like I was going 102.
Well, let's try this
crazy.
again, because if people watch this channel, they know
that this is not the kind of car I would ever buy.
Well, yes, but they also know that you are a sucker for a good sport mode.
Do we have sport mode?
And this does have...
Is it going to shoot flames?
No, it doesn't do flame valves.
Okay, that was lame.
But,
whoa. Okay, but see now, and I feel like I'm driving a stick. Why do I feel like I'm driving a stick,
bro?
Because
it's making the automatic behave like one. So now when we get on this road, give it a little bit more acceleration.
So like, I kind of like that. That's kind of fun, but...
Yeah, well, assuming these cars turn, that car is turning at 8 years. 8 years to make that turn. Good Lord. All right. So when you get...
And see, like turning, like I'm like, I can't see much of anything.
Now give it some. See?
Okay, like that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun.
The Supra is a fast car.
It is and that got fast quick.
Yep.
And that actually, I guess maybe since I didn't feel like, I don't know. It felt more like in control. Is that because I was in sport mode?
Well, sport mode,
or maybe just like
shifts,
my brain was.
Tightens up the suspension.
Yeah, I definitely felt the tighter suspension.
And it opens up the exhaust.
Yeah, I do like the sound that the exhaust makes.
It does make a good sound.
Like when you turn it on, it's kind of like...
Do you know why it makes a good sound? Because it's a BMW engine.
What does that have to do with making a sound? Because BMW make a sound?
It's the B58, which is one of their best engines.
Oh. No, I do think it's kind of cool that when you turn it on, it like kind of makes some big sounds.
Well, this whole car is a BMW, actually.
Like if I'm gonna drive a fancy car, it should at least like be loud.
Oh, it is a fancy
But not
car.
obnoxiously loud. Like your Corvette is obnoxiously loud. I don't.
Well,
like
that's sort of the point.
Yeah, but I don't like that.
Yeah.
So, but this one I feel like is like good loud.
So if I had this car, would you mind driving it? You said you wouldn't ever drive it, but I think you're kidding.
See, like right now I'm braking. Why is it like?
It's downshifting like a manual car.
Yeah, that's weird. See, I don't like that. I guess you'd get used to it.
I thought you just said you did like it.
Okay, not when I'm trying to slow down.
Well, that's the whole point.
I liked when it was upshifting.
Oh. Yeah, well, do it again. You can see
Well, because it makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong. Like, see, I like that.
We just passed that red Porsche, and he was like, "Uh-oh, get it, housewife in the Supra."
What can I say? Housewife? Bro, call me a housewife one more time. Are we looking at the inside now?
Well, we might as well. You're just doing this like as a one take? This is just a one take
Yeah, we're just
review.
rolling. Yeah. Okay, so this is what I do not like about sports cars. So, like, I'm tall, I'm 5'9", and I have to, like, I like fall into this car.
Well, that's what
like,
people who like sports cars like about them.
They like the falling?
Yeah.
Why? They like the feeling of falling? I don't like feeling of falling. So, and then this is kind of low. I hit my head on it earlier. I didn't want to tell you because I thought you were going to make fun of me.
Yeah.
When I backed out of the driveway.
Because the double
I went over the bump and I hit my head on this.
Oh, wow. That's special.
Well, but now the seat is actually pretty comfy.
Yeah, you like the seat.
So I will give that pretty good. I like the steering wheel. I like the steering wheel. I like the two-tone. It looks nice in here.
Yeah,
I feel
people
like
are a fan of that.
Yeah, I feel like it looks nice. Like, it looks like a nice sports car. Like a nicer, I don't know. I know a Supra is like a nice car, but like I don't normally think of like a Toyota as like a luxury vehicle.
Wow, ouch, Toyota.
Well, we own Toyotas, so
Yeah.
it's not an ouch. I just don't think of them as like luxury. But, excuse me, I can see like it feels luxurious in here.
Yeah.
This is a little small.
Yeah, the screen, it's running BMW's old.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt like that looked a little, which is honestly, when I asked you what year it was, I thought maybe it wasn't a 2025 because that looked kind of like
Yeah.
not updated.
Well, it's a couple generations back. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It works
I don't
well.
love the gear shift.
Oh, you
Yeah, because it has, first of all, this one is like you have to press this button to put it in drive and reverse. And to drive, you pull it backwards. To reverse, you pull it forward, which is like all sorts of wrong. And then I was like trying to figure out how to park it. You press the button to park. Like,
It's motorsports.
I just want to be able to, I just want a normal.
Well, you like
gear shift.
Toyotas because the buttons come on and off automatically.
Yeah.
The parking, the e-brake does.
This
But
one doesn't.
Yeah, because it's a BMW.
Yeah, so I had to put the parking brake
Yeah.
on and off, which I feel like that. I mean, we're in 2025. Why are we putting parking brakes on?
Well, most of them don't. Toyota's like the only one that does it automatically.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of cars don't go on automatically.
Well, maybe they should.
Well, Toyota's smart like that.
Yeah, we do have, that's why we have Toyotas.
Yep.
2 of them.
probably gonna be a third for you.
I like the carbon fiber.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
Yeah. No,
I've
I think it
always
looks
liked
good. And I don't mind this. I don't know. This is a little small and a little eh. The heads-up display is nice. I just couldn't see it, but you said it can be adjusted.
Yeah.
I feel like the little speedometer part's a little meh.
I've said that in previous reviews.
kinda boring.
Which, people can go check out. I'll link to them. But, I think the gauge cluster is very boring.
Yeah, well, and when you put it in sport mode, where are my
nothing
flames?
happens,
Yeah,
yeah.
like where are the flames?
No.
Where is the excitement?
It's too conservative. It needs to be
Yeah.
crazier.
Yeah, like I feel like it looked like the outside looks more sporty. When it drives, it feels sporty, but like it doesn't look sporty.
You know what they should do is do some of those retro dials like Mustang does, where
Yeah.
they look like the 80s and 90s
Yeah,
ones.
that'd be pretty
That would
cool.
be sick.
But I do like the steering wheel. It's nice and soft.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, the materials are nice. This feels nicer. This kind of feels a little cheap.
Oh, I see.
Like this
Yeah.
is kind of rough. This is very smooth and nice. Like I wish they had this material here.
Yeah, well, it's you know,
know?
it is $60,000, not $90,000.
Oh, you didn't? Were you gonna have me guess? I didn't know how
we
much
don't
it
usually
cost.
guess. We
Yeah,
just
sometimes.
Talk about it at the end.
Sometimes at the end.
Oh, okay.
You like tell me as a surprise.
Oh, as a surprise.
But yeah, and now when I
Okay.
get out of here, I have to like.
Oh well, let's do it in real time. Let's see this action.
No, I'm old. Keep in mind, but like I'm like on the, I'm like on the ground. Okay, I
You
did
that
it. I
pretty
did
good.
it.
That wasn't bad.
But I don't love that.
Okay.
But I don't love a sports car. So
Okay, so for context, if you're a regular viewer
Your
of the
head's, like,
channel,
cut off, by the
you
way.
already know. Yeah, I know, because the
Yeah.
Supra kind of like roof slopes
that's
out here.
what I hit my head on.
Yeah, so watch your head when you get in and out of the Supra. Now, it might look like someone my height. I'm over 6'5", I'm almost 6'6". Can't fit inside the Supra super well, but actually I can. The legroom is
It's
just
impressive,
fine.
yeah.
I have no problem with the legroom, and because the Supra has kind of this double bubble roof, there's actually plenty of headroom. I have a good inch, maybe even close to 2 inches of headroom inside the Supra. Now, visibility, like you were saying, is not great. That is a downside in the Supra, but the cabin is nice. The materials are good.
It's
It's
really
getting
windy.
windy.
Yeah.
And for what is essentially a BMW, everything is very functional. Now, like we were saying, you do get kind of the older infotainment system. It works great and connects to Apple CarPlay wirelessly. It's just a little bit older, and you have BMW's iDrive controller right here. And all the menus and stuff are really, logically laid out, so no complaints there. Now, one complaint I do have when it comes to the driving experience in the Supra, since I'm not doing a full kind of driving in this one, I hate the auto start-stop system in the Toyota Supra. I turn it off every time. I think it's one of the most obtrusive, annoying auto start-stop systems that I've ever encountered in a normal car. It starts cutting off the engine as you're not even fully stopped. It's just really kind of rough and irritating. So if that bothers you, I just get in the habit of turning it off. And normally I leave them on. I drive a Camry Hybrid as a commuter car, so that one is seamless. But this one is incredibly irritating. But in terms of space, material, quality, options, this one's fully loaded at 60,000. The Supra is a nice place to be, and everything works really, really well. I really like that carbon fiber they've always had in the middle.
Yeah,
it looks really good. Great driving position for someone my height. Just make sure you watch your head when you get in and out of it. All right, so before we get to your wrap up, like I always like to say, should you buy a Toyota Supra? If you are interested in a sports car that's going to give you a rewarding kind of amount of performance, is daily driving livable, you can live with it every day, there's a decent amount of cargo space, and your partner, significant other, spouse can also drive it without having to, either learn to drive a stick or figure out some complicated series of setting up the car, or have something that's kind of overly risky, to park and stuff. This is a generally easy car to drive. The Supra is pretty much bar none the number one choice. I always prefer it to its main competitor, the Nissan Z. I think the Z looks cool and the Z's fine to drive, but it feels cheaper inside. The performance just doesn't feel as good. And from a sort of a handling standpoint, I feel like the Z is just too soft, too kind of boring, right? And so I always prefer the Toyota Supra. If you're in the market for a sports car at $60,000, this thing is pretty much in a class of one. All right, you couldn't want anything else. Yeah, one of one. Oh, by the way, what do I think of the automatic versus manual? Hot take, I would take the automatic. Here's why. That ZF 8-speed shifts super fast. It's very responsive. It's one of the best automatics on the market, and it gives the Supra that sort of daily livability that allows.
You feel
right. You feel like you're in a sports car.
I think it feels like a stick.
What I was saying is
it would allow your other person.
Right. It would allow your significant other to drive it without having to worry about driving a stick. We have a Corvette that is a stick, and I am the only one that can drive it. Now you might go, well, that's cool because I don't want anybody else driving my car, but it's not always convenient. The Supra has one of the best automatics you can buy, and that allows it to be that much more convenient. Use that to sell it to your partner.
We'll see if it works.
We've decided that I'm not the person who's buying this car.
Right.
You would be, though.
So is this your summary?
And I would be your wife. So, yeah, we'll just go ahead and do the summary. So, looks-wise, exterior, I'll give it a 6.
Okay.
It's not my favorite, but it's not terrible. But again, looks-wise, probably don't listen to me because this is not the kind of car I like. Interior, we'll go a 7.
Okay.
It's very comfy. The seats are comfortable.
You go a little bit higher than that.
The screen is kind of small. The dash is a little boring.
Yeah, you like
There's
your
no
technology.
flames for sports.
Yeah.
I don't like the stick shifter.
It's not a stick.
The gear shifter. So I don't like those things. If it was a stick,
you would not be doing this review.
Driving wise, I'll give it an 8.
Okay.
I had fun driving it. You do feel it a lot, which I get as a sports car kind of thing.
That's pretty good for you for a sports car.
Yeah, I actually kind of had fun driving it.
Oh, okay. You're walking it back big time on this.
No, that's false.
You're I don't like sports cars.
I don't like sports cars. But
driving.
If you really wanted this and we had it, I'd be okay, let me go drive my best friend out to, Chipotle.
Show off the Supra.
Yeah, I would do that. It does feel kind of cool. I do like that part of a sports car where you're yeah, look at me in my sports car.
Yeah.
How you said the guy that drove by in the Porsche was look at that mom in the sports car.
Well,
and I was
everyone likes the Supra.
Yeah.
The Supra is cool.
Cargo space, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
I'll give it.
Bad.
You said it's bad. You said it's not great.
No, it's not bad for this car.
Oh, I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. I like that. For price, you said it's what, 60?
60,000. This one's fully loaded.
It is?
Yeah, the price has gone up a little over the years.
Yeah, 60 seems like a little much to me.
For a sports car that's this fast?
It's not?
That's actually a pretty good value,
Because I guess you're paying for what? The engine and all
the... It used to be 56, which was pretty great value.
Yeah. All right. So I mean, I don't know. I'm not a big sports car guy. So you tell me. Why don't you do the rating? What should the rating be for value?
Oh, for value for what you're getting,
60K.
I'd give it an 8 or a 9. It's
Okay.
pretty darn good.
All right, we'll go 8. I gotta go on the low
You
end.
went on the low end.
Yeah. So overall, I mean, if a sports car is what you're looking for, now you can't fit any people. Is that? But I guess most sports cars don't have a backseat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'd just be 2 people. Like a 7.
Okay.
Like a
It's
7.
a pretty good rating for you
for
a
someone who
sports
doesn't like
car.
sports car.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm trying to rate it like on a
Right.
sports car scale.
But the Supra's changing hearts and minds out here.
I don't want to go without, clear heart, full mind, can't lose.
Oh my God, was that a Friday Night Lights?
Yeah. But I think I did it wrong. But I haven't watched that show in a hot minute, so.
Wasn't
Full
it
eyes,
Clear Eyes?
Clear eyes, full heart.
Full hearts.
Can't lose. Something like that.
So that's Toyota. That's your new tagline for the Supra.
You should get what's his name out here doing a Toyota Supra ad.
Oh.
I love him. He's so cute, but I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
You know who I mean.
The star of that show.
The star. Yeah, I can't think of his
Yeah,
name.
comment down below if you remember his name.
But anyway, so not bad.
Okay.
That's about what I can say.
All right.
We should probably listen to hear what Jack has to say because he is
I've already
a sports
said
car
it.
guy.
You're
Oh.
always last.
I'm always last.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for watching. Even though I'm not a sports car gal, I do think the next car we're gonna have is an SUV that might be one that I want to buy.
Yeah, it's either the Land Cruiser or the Tacoma. So
Yeah.
stay tuned.
So
for
stay tuned because those are kind of really where I shine.
that. Oh, okay. You didn't
Not
shine in
sports
this.
cars. No, I don't think I shone.
Epic fail.
I don't think I shone.
Epic fail.
I tried my best.
Apologies for the
The wind.
amount of
Yes,
wind.
I feel like it's been worse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is. Oh, God. Jeez.
I'm cold.
We made it all this time
I know,
without
but now I'm
having to
freezing.
cut. Now I'm gonna have to freaking cut.